All right, it's the Frang and Mack podcast back after a few weeks off. July 1st, NBA free agency has started. We'll get to Kevin Durant. Everybody wants to talk about Kevin Durant. But first off, let's talk about Dwight Howard. We were just talking off air. He's a free agent. The Celtics have been reported to be interested in Dwight Howard heavily. Bovada, the Vegas betting book, has him as the highest favorites to land Dwight Howard, which makes me want to puke all over my shoes. I can't stand that. Frang, what were you saying off air to me about Dwight Howard and the Celtics?
I think Dwight is your best option. Here's a guy that once led a team to the finals when he was in Orlando. I know that's been a while. That was a while ago. He's had back problems ever since. He's had problems with the locker room, gelling with the guys. But he opted out of a $23 million contract in Houston because he didn't fit there. And the first year, they did great in the playoffs, great season. And then last year was a real disaster. So I think he's interested. What he said is around the $24 million range. I think if the Celtics can bring him in on a 1 year, a 1 in 1 year option where you give him 1 year with a team option for the second year, $24 million per. I think if you can put this guy and if he can gel with Brad Stevens, he can buy into the program. I think we can get the best out of him, which means maybe we win a round, maybe we win 53 games. And for Dwight Howard, maybe this can right the ship on his career because the general consensus about Dwight Howard is he's soft, he's a team killer, he's fired coaches. I still always think when you say Dwight Howard and a coach, I think of that awkward press conference with Van Gundy where he comes over, puts his arm around him and, he ends up getting fired. So I think it could be good for Dwight Howard's stock as a player, as a person, who could make him more attractable to other teams. And the Celtics, I think, could always use a big man. I don't think they've had a big man since the Kevin Garnett, Kendrick Perkins days. It's always been a kind of a scrub at the 5 spot. So I think if he can gel, he can stay healthy, it'll be a win-win for both teams, even though he's probably one of the most hated players in the NBA.
Yeah, I can't stand him. I definitely don't want Dwight Howard on a long-term deal. I don't think any Celtics fan does. I don't completely hate the 1 year deal aspect of it. I just don't think Dwight Howard would be up for it. I mean, Dwight Howard is just the complete prototypical NBA diva. He's 30 years old. He hasn't won a championship. At this point, if he sees a 1 year deal from the likes of the Celtics, even if it is worth a ton of money, there's no chance he's coming to Boston. He's played in Orlando, LA, Houston. He's not coming up to the cold weather city where the media and the fans will absolutely obliterate him the first sign he gives of quitting. I don't see him ever wanting to come here. I don't hate the idea of him bringing him in for 1 year, even though I can't stand him. And maybe you win 50 games as opposed to 48 because I really don't think he's that effective anymore at going in a soon-to-be 31-year-old player. They need a big man. I agree on that, but I don't think he's worlds better than Amir Johnson. He can't play with another superstar. I say what you want about Isaiah Thomas, but he is a top 25 player in the league. He couldn't play with Kobe. He couldn't play with James Harden. He won't be able to play with Isaiah. He doesn't make you that much better, so I think it's just wasted money for 1 year.
You say that, but at the same time, that money is not coming out of our checkbooks and our accounts. So you look at it like that. The Celtics have a history, apparently, that they can't sign free agents. All of Danny Ainge's mastermind plans have worked via trades. So you're right. I don't know if bringing Dwight in means that another free agent will say, you know what, I want to play with Dwight Howard and Isaiah Thomas. I don't think anyone's saying that. But I still think that propels you as a competitor in the East because it's going through Cleveland every year.
Yeah, that's 100% then. But if you're just going to bring in that Dwight Howard for 1 year and you're really not focused on bringing him in the long term and trying to build a contender here, what's the point? I just don't see – if you're going to bring in a guy like Al Horford, who I don't think is a phenomenal player, but I think he makes you a lot better than Dwight Howard.
Oh, I agree. But I think Al Horford – if we're talking attracting Al Horford to sign with the Celtics, we may be 3 or 4 on that list behind Atlanta. Apparently, he may want to go back to Atlanta. He's got meetings set up with Dallas. So I don't think that the Celtics are in contention as in the top 2 teams best in position to sign him. They can offer him the best deal, I think. I think the organization has besides the history, I think we're heading in a better direction than Atlanta is, even though I love Paul Millsap and what they've been able to do. I still think he may want to go to Atlanta. Mark Cuban's been aggressive in pursuing a meeting with him. So I don't know if the Celtics even fall in the top 2 to land a guy like Horford.
You know who was number 2 behind the Celtics when it comes to Dwight Howard was the Atlanta Hawks, and that's his hometown. So watch out for that if they want Dwight Howard. I mean, it's
one or the other. They wouldn't sign.
Perfect place for him.
That could be a backup because I do think that Atlanta wants to re-sign Horford.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic. I certainly don't want Dwight Howard. 1-year deal, maybe. I just don't think he would agree to it. I don't think they're getting him here, which I'm fine with in the long run. Now let's get to Kevin Durant. Last night it comes out from Mark Stein of ESPN that a close friend of Kevin Durant says his mind is 90% made up that he's going back to Oklahoma City, and it would take a blow him away type of offer to bring him out and to sign with one of the other 6 teams this year, which makes me pretty mad as a Celtics fan, as a basketball fan. Like, why are we going through this whole dog and pony show where he's going to go to the Hamptons, Nike's going to rent them a house, Wick Grossbeck, Danny Ainge, the Knicks, the Warriors, the San Antonio Spurs, the Clippers, they're all going to go meet with them, the Heat, and it's all just for naught. So what's the point of it? What do you think the whole point of this situation is, Frank?
You have to always understand that the incumbent has to be the favorite, the incumbent being Oklahoma City. Although he has options to go elsewhere, he knows the city, he knows the team, the franchise obviously wants him. So there's no surprise that, coming out of the gate, that they were the favorites. But let's see. Let's slow down a little bit. I know he hasn't met with the Celtics yet. I believe it's tomorrow, Saturday at 12 noon, that they're meeting somewhere around that time. So let's slow down a little bit. We have to assume that Oklahoma City was always the favorite. And I think we've always said that they have to be the favorite, being that, I don't think he didn't come off as a guy that has to leave, wants to leave, doesn't like the city or the team or what they're doing. They're coming off, a Western Conference Finals appearance in which they probably should have knocked off the Warriors, and
probably. I
think they would have beat the Cavs. I really do. I think they could have beat that Cavs team. The Warriors didn't come to play, but let's see. I think the Celtics can offer a lot. They have not only the ability to sign not 1 but 2 max guys. They have a good, solid young core, one of the best young coaches in the league, and they have draft picks.
Yeah, I just think it's weird that, you're going to sell him. You're going to, make this whole process to recruit Kevin Durant when he's probably just going back to Oklahoma City this year, and he already said that. And I also think it's pretty bad on Kevin Durant's part. He's making Oklahoma City look like chumps because he's basically saying, yeah, I'll come back for 1 year, but I'm already auditioning myself for after next season. I'm not even focused on this season. I'm focused on next summer when I'm going to go make a ton of money because the cap's going up.
I'll give you a nice analogy. The man's been in a relationship for a really long time. So now that he's sort of single, he's in limbo, he kind of wants to take out a couple dates, be wined and dined. And then what happens? Then he returns home. That's kind of the narrative I think I can see as it's being reported.
Interesting analogy, but then he's just going to he's basically saying, I'm coming home for like a few months, and then I'm leaving again. I'm good this time.
Can make more sense from the numbers standpoint to just sign the 1-year deal with Oklahoma City.
It would, but then what are we doing this whole what's with the house in the Hamptons? What's with the teams flying in to come meet with them when you're basically already saying I'm going back to Oklahoma City? There's a ridiculous amount of money he'd leave on the table if he didn't go back. It just boggles my mind. Everybody's saying, oh, Kevin Durant, he's not about the glitz, he's not about the glamour. He wears backpacks to press conferences instead of $15,000 suits like LeBron and Westbrook and all these guys.
Yeah, those ugly suits that Westbrook wears. Yeah, I'm glad Durant doesn't do that.
Yeah, whatever. But he's renting a house in the Hamptons, and he wants to be wined and dined by all these teams, and then he's just going to go. I'm starting to lose a little respect for him. Granted, if he signs with the Green, I'm delete everything I just said. But that's not going to happen this year. At least he's just going to, get everybody's hopes up. The Celtics will meet with.
What if the pitch is for next year? What if?
But I understand that, but can't we do that next year? Why do we have to do that this year?
Well, what if Kevin Durant sits down and says, "Guys, Westbrook, I think Westbrook is leaving regardless if Kevin Durant signs or stays. I think Westbrook will eventually leave to go to Los Angeles to be a Laker. But that's, down the road. I think Durant should be real up and say, guys, I'm gonna most likely sign a 1-year deal to stay in Oklahoma City. We were very close last year to winning the title, to getting to the finals. I'm gonna sign the 1-year deal. The cap's gonna go up, and then I'm gonna really entertain options of leaving. I want to see what you guys are going to do from now into next year at this time. How you're going to build a roster. Let me evaluate the draft picks that you've selected. Let's see the core that stays with the team. If you guys sign another, Max guy or another potential guy that contribute, maybe like a Jay Crowder, someone who can contribute maybe off the bench because you're losing Evan Turner. Maybe it's that kind of thing too.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's definitely goes against what people have said about Kevin Durant as far as, personality. But I'm fine with that. It's the NBA. That's how these guys are. Would you say that this list of teams, I believe it's 6 teams, Miami, New York, LA, San Antonio, who else we got there? There's a couple other teams in there. But
Knicks are officially eliminated, I believe, from the contention.
Okay. Who would you say is – I mean, do you think it's consensus the Celtics are last on that list in terms of Kevin Durant?
No way. I mean, I'm pretty biased because I'm a San Antonio fan just because they've been the New England Patriots of basketball. They have a system. They have a way they do things, and if you can't fit in, they will cut you. They will move on regardless of who you are. No one's above the program. So, plus they have the best coach in the league. So I would go San Antonio number 1. Golden State.
The top team to get him?
No. I think if I'm Kevin Durant, I thought that's how you were phrasing the question.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
Where do I want to go? I want to play for Greg Popovich, 1. Although I don't think Steve Kerr is a great coach to play for. I mean, he's really blessed with the talent that he has, and I don't think it's really hard managing what he has, even though I get maybe egos get involved, but Golden State would be 2, Celtics would be 3, or 2B if you would.
I just think the Celtics right now don't have much to offer him. I mean, they got Isaiah Thomas, and then behind. I mean, if he wants to be the guy, then that's fine. I mean, he's not. People have argued if he's the guy in Oklahoma City, Russell Westbrook is probably a tier below him, if not equal at some points. The Celtics, he's the number 1 guy, but that doesn't always translate to wins. The only thing I would pitch him on big time is the Eastern Conference in general. I mean, all you got to compete against is LeBron. All you got to do is somehow lure in one more, key top 25 player, top 30 player in the NBA, and you can compete and knock off the Cavs with Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Durant, and, player X, whoever it may be.
What if they sign
next year?
They do have the cap space for 2 maxes.
Yeah, so, who's the second guy? I mean, you got to get Kevin
Durant first. And they say, you know what, GM, Mr. Durant, who do you want? We will sign him. Because now all of a sudden you have Durant, you got Isaiah Crowder, Avery Bradley. Who do you want? You want us to bring in a big? We'll bring in Dwight. You want Dwight? No one wants Dwight. But you want Al Horford if he's still available? What if Durant is the first chip to fall? What if first domino that falls?
That's the only way
people would want to play with Durant, right? I mean, now we're talking top 5, I would say top 3 player in the NBA. That's completely different.
Yeah, that's the only way of having it. But, I mean, then you're talking about bringing in 2 free agents, 2 big-name free agents, and the Celtics in their nearly 70-year history have never brought in 1. And you're talking about bringing 2 free agents in at the same time. So that's pretty tough.
Do you believe in miracles?
In this case, maybe. I don't know. They're due, I guess. There's got to happen sometime, I suppose, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, didn't we say that about the curse of the Bambino with the Red Sox? I mean, True. It's going to eventually happen.
Cleveland said it.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe that's part of Danny Ainge's pitch. Kevin, we know that we need to put a team around you. We have availability of 2 maxes. If you're the first guy to fall, we will get the best available or whoever you want if you sign. So not only do you get to choose who you want to play with, we'll let you make front office decisions. I think it's got to be attractive.
Yep, I would say so.
Especially in an era where players get more and more, I guess you could say, weight in front office and coaching like Coach LeBron, GM LeBron, and owner LeBron James.
Yeah, I think Kevin Durant would like to put himself in that category. I hope it's with the Celtics. My hopes have gone down big time the last few days. We shall see what this weekend has. Probably going to be nothing for the Celtics, in my opinion, as it always is with free agency. But this is the Frang and Mack podcast. We will be back more regularly after these last few weeks off. NBA, MLB, this is a slow time of sports here. Patriots training camp, 27 days away. So that's coming up soon. We'll be down there, of course. This is the
Down there live broadcasting, so that should be fun.
We will be down there, joint practices, Chicago, New Orleans. It's a great time of year. All right, Frang and Mack, we're out.